Hello, everybody. This is Tish and Tilly. We're here to do the Vision Vortex Masterclass. I was so inspired when I was preparing for this morning. I have so much exciting stuff to share with you today. And what inspired me to create this workshop, the name just came to me. I was, in the bathroom, in the shower, where I get most of my inspiration. And I heard this voice say, you can focus on fear. You can focus on what's going on the planet. It's kind of scary out there at times. Or you can focus on your growth and your ascension. And this is what a vision vortex can do for you is it can pluck you out of that lower frequency, or it can pluck you out of your current environment and the things that you're focusing on that you don't want to create in your life to a much higher frequency, a much more exciting reality than the one you may be facing. Now, you may have a reality, let's say in your personal life, that's working great, but maybe your business is not where you want it to be, or maybe it's your body or your health. It could be any area that you can do this vision vortex exercise for that we're going to get into. So whether you're here live or if you're watching the replay, get your pen and paper out, get ready, because you're going to learn a lot here. And I would invite you to put your cell phone away if you're watching this live. Really be here because you're going to learn a lot. So I love this quote. It says you can never change things by fighting the existing reality. And that's what we try to do, right? In our business, if we're not getting the clients, we're fighting that, we're mulling it over, we're saying the same things. Or if it's in our relationships, we're observing what we don't want. So we're constantly in that state of resistance. But to change something, you have to build a new model, one that makes the old model obsolete. That's a quote, I believe. Oh, what is his name? It escapes me now. But you probably heard this quote before. So to pluck yourself from the reality that you're in now that's not working, we're just going to focus on what's not working, to a whole new reality. You have to replace the old vision, the old blueprint, the old focus, the old thoughts, everything, the old self-image even, with a whole new reality, a whole new vision. It's not by accident that we're having something called the Great Resignation. A lot of people are quitting their day jobs. A lot of people that are doctors, lawyers, that had considered to be a really great job have walked away from it. So one of the elements of creating a great vision is following your soul's purpose. And the reason that so many people are quitting their jobs with the pandemic and everything is because they probably did not follow their soul's purpose. They probably did something based on should. They did something based on what their family wanted them to do, or what they thought would bring them joy and that feeling of confidence. But that's not what's going to create a powerful vision for you. So we always want to drop into our soul. We want to drop into that higher purpose, the higher why, because your purpose fuels the vision. A vision without knowing what your purpose is going to fizzle out over time. I want to tell you a really powerful story by a wonderful man named Mark Allen. Mark Allen wrote a book called The Greatest Secret of All. And I had the privilege of interviewing him. He's the owner of a multi-million-dollar publishing company. And his story is the one that I'm going to share with you because it was the first time that I even ever heard about creating a vision in my life. But he was 30 years old and he was like, oh my gosh, I have nothing to show for. I've just been playing around like a big kid. He was scrounging for his rent. And he decided that day on his 30th birthday that he was going to create a vision for his life. And he said the words just spilled out on the paper, like it just came to him. And that's what happens when you take the time to really tap into your soul's purpose. Your vision will come to you. I love what the American Indians used to do, that they would go on a vision quest. They would allow their vision to come to them, because this is not an ego pushing kind of forcing thing. I think a beautiful vision comes to you and it gives you great peace. One of my clients this week, I'm getting chills when I say this, because she said, I feel so peaceful right now after we worked on her purpose, vision, and goals. And the same exact thing happened to me this week. I was in a seminar and this powerful vision came to me of how I want to live 3 to 5 years from now. And it was something I never even imagined. So when you take the time to do this exercise, I'm going to tell you, shut everything down, really ask yourself some powerful questions that I'm going to ask you in a little bit about how to get into your purpose, because that is when the proper vision comes. Proper vision isn't the right word. That's when your vision vortex comes. So I want to kind of give you a kind of a definition of what I think a vision is. But let's talk about what happens when you don't have a clear, inspiring vision. Let's talk about what happens when we're just letting life or present circumstances, even what's happening on the planet right now, take you like you're a boat on a crazy storm, right? When you don't have that implanted into your beingness, into your cellular memory, what happens is daily circumstances will get the better of you. You're going to be also operating out of conditioned responses, because if you don't put a new blueprint in there, the old blueprint of what somebody else gave you takes control of your life. 95% of your behavior comes from your subconscious mind, and 95% of our behavior is conditioned. It comes from conditioning. So there's a blueprint in there that you're operating from. That blueprint is creating your reality. And unless you put in a new blueprint, guess what? Nothing changes. So it gives you a clear sense of direction, but now you've opened up the quantum field to a whole nother possibility when you create a vision vortex that you could have never stepped into. So back to Mark Allen's story. He wrote his ideal scene. His ideal scene was so far beyond anything that he ever imagined he could do. He said he was going to be the owner of a multi-million-dollar publishing company. He was going to write music. He was going to write books and get paid really well for that. He was going to have a mansion on the hill. He was going to be with a beautiful woman, love of his life. Well, as he implanted that vision, guess what happened? That vision happened for him. He is the owner of a multi-million-dollar publishing company. He has created music. He's inspired so many. And that would have never happened had he been observing that he couldn't pay his rent, that he was a loser, or whatever the thoughts were that he was having before. This literally, his vision plucked him from that lower frequency into a whole different reality. And that is what a vision is. A vision is the ideal scene of you living your best life a year from now, 3 to 5 years from now. And it can fit in one page, okay? And a lot of people talk about vision. You can go on the internet right now and you can Google vision on YouTube and you can find a lot of videos on vision, okay? But that's not enough, in my opinion. A vision vortex is more than just writing words on paper. A vision vortex pulls you, like I said, into a different higher frequency because it's compelling and because it's inspired and because it's coming from your soul's purpose. So if you're just writing a vision because you don't feel enough or because you're hating your reality and you just want to go into another reality, that's not enough. It literally has to make you fall in love with it, wake up in the morning and start your day. It fires you up. I have so many clients that are fired up by their vision and have been fired up by their vision, and they've created incredible things. And that's because we started to think bigger. We started to collaborate and say, hey, how can we make this fantasy into a theory and then into a fact? There's a process that we can go through that has been given to me by Bob Proctor, and it's a repeatable process. How do I know this? Because I've helped many over the last 10 years to do just that. I love this saying. It says, the pain pushes until the vision pulls. So your vision vortex is something that starts pulling on you. Before, you were in pain, maybe you're dissatisfied, maybe you want to quit your day job, maybe you want to change that relationship, maybe you want to see that better body, but resisting what is and focusing on what is not going to bring that new reality to you. Your vision vortex, on the other hand, will. So I was watching some videos this morning and I loved this. One guy said, successful people have extraordinary visions. Their imagination goes wild. Everything that you ever saw created on this planet began with somebody's vision. It began with an image in their mind. But they didn't look at that image and go, oh God, am I good enough for this? Or can I do this? Is this possible? No, they did not know how they're going to do it. This is a really important element of creating your vision vortex, is you do not need to know how this is going to come about, which is super exciting because the purpose of a vision is also for you to grow. It's a huge container now that you grow into, that you are going to become that person that has that vision. So I want to get into your soul's purpose. I did this exercise myself this week. I was in a seminar and I actually had some really cool questions to ask you here. So get a pen and paper out. And by the way, if you're on the replay, please let me know that you're on the replay. And if you're here and you want to make a comment, I would love to hear what you think about all these ideas that I'm sharing. So a powerful vision begins with your soul's purpose. And here are the questions that I got. Her name was Tara, wonderful coach. She asked, who are you a hero for? Or who do you want to be a hero for? That's question number one. What do you love? I always like to ask my clients, what brings you life? This is how you're going to find out what your purpose is. Your purpose is what you love to do. It's why you're put here on the planet, okay? Now, the vision is the full description of you living your purpose. It's a snapshot of you living your purpose, dreams, and goals. And then a goal is, we extract that from a vision, and it's the action steps that you're going to take. It's the stepping stones for you to get to that bigger vision. So a big vision can scare a lot of people, but trust me, it's not scary if you are going to take incremental steps. My coach, Bob Proctor, always says, it's Mount Everest, and then you have to get to base camp 1, base camp 2, base camp 3. So what fires you up right now? What fires you up? That's another question. And what could you talk about all day long, or what could you do all day long and never get tired of it? That's another question. So I love this. What are you a hero for? What do you love? What fires you up? What would you love to talk about all day long? And we'll get it a little deeper into the end of your life and how you want to see the end of your life, because that's a really important thing. I saw in this seminar that I was at women that created very successful businesses from something they love that somebody else would have said, no, you can't make money from that. I saw healers making great success out of their healing business, or professional organizers who are doing phenomenally well. So, whatever it is that brings you life that you believe you cannot create happiness from it and a vision, think again, because there are people out there right now doing something that maybe you are thinking about doing that you may not believe that you can, and they are very successful at it. So let's talk about the elements of a vision vortex. A vision vortex, in my opinion, should come from your soul's purpose, okay? Which means it will be inspiring. It's going to help you to feel very peaceful inside, because now you are having a very clear direction in your life. It should be fueling. It should fuel you. And I hate to use the word should, okay? How about it can? Because that's a better word. I've been really watching my words lately. It can fuel you. It gives your life meaning. It comes from the soul, not the ego. So when you're creating your vision vortex, ask, is this something that somebody else wanted from me? Is this something from my ego? Or is this truly from my soul? Because what you'll find is you're going to be really surprised if you take the time to do this, answer these questions and be in silence and ask for some guidance on this, is something's going to come to you that's going to completely surprise you. That's what happened to me this week. So when you're creating your vision vortex, I always encourage my clients to put their personal and professional visions all in one. But you can create a vision vortex just for your business. You can create a vision vortex just for your body. You can create a vision vortex for your relationships. The sky's the limit here, but I love the vision vortex where it's your whole life in one kind of container. And it's your life that you're living, your best life. Like I said, 1 to 3 to 5 years from now is this ideal scene, right? So here's some questions to ask yourself when you're writing your vision down, okay? Write, what do you want to experience between now and the time you leave this planet? What experiences do you want to have? Do you want to go on a vacation to Paris? Do you want to do a seminar for 200 people? Do you want to create memories with your family? What do you want to experience? Okay. Second thing to ask yourself is, how do you want to grow? Okay. Maybe you want to take a class on learning Italian. Maybe you want to learn to play the piano. Maybe you want to grow into your business and learn some skills that you've never been able to learn before. One for me is I actually am very interested in becoming a hypnotherapist now. This has been the latest thing for me. So write everything that you want for growth. Write this shopping list of things. What contributions do you want to make in your life? Do you want to contribute to a charity? Maybe you want to go on a trip. I used to go with the Flying Samaritans to Mexico in my old life, in my old dental hygiene life. And that I created phenomenal experiences there and memories. I cherish them till this day. So experience, growth, and contribution are great questions to ask yourself. But really it's like, how do you want to live, right? How do you want to live? And what impact do you want to make? Let's go back to my first thing that I said, that the planet's crumbling in some ways. So the planet needs you to show up fully in a complete different way. I believe this vision vortex that you're creating here, if you are watching this video, you're not watching it by accident, and you're watching it because you are being invited to a higher calling. You're being invited to a higher frequency, and you're being invited to be the change that you want to see on this planet. I'm being the change I want to see on this planet. I'm here giving People value inspiring people. Why? Because I want to bring in light. I wanted to bring in hope. I want to bring in joy. So, what do you want to bring into the planet right now? It's really powerful, this stuff. So, here's the thing, when you are in your vision vortex, there's no more need for motivation. When you hone in on this vision vortex, you don't need motivation like walking on coals and going on seminar. When you read a book or if you go on a seminar, that's fleeting. That's going to wear off. But if you know your why you're here on the planet, if you know your direction in life, if you have meaning in your life, guess what? You don't need all that BS anymore. You're self-fueled. You are self-propelled, okay? I cannot wait to get up in the morning to start my day. That's the kind of vision that you want to set for your life. So I hope this inspired you, and do read The Greatest Secret of All. I do really recommend this book. This book inspires me. I've read it, I don't know how many times, I cannot tell you. And I think that this was a frequency kind of synchronistic thing that I was able to interview the author, because he's actually a super busy guy. And the way that it came that I was able to do that was really like synchronicity. It was law of attraction for sure. So again, just to remind you, your vision vortex is going to literally take you in the quantum field into a different parallel you. If you studied the work of Joe Dispenza, which I'm a huge fan, he creates spontaneous remissions. He helps people heal from end stages of cancer, all kinds of illnesses. And this is the exact work that he does with people. He talks about this quantum creation. And the quantum creation begins when you don't allow your environment to dictate what's possible for you. You don't allow your environment to put that blueprint into your mind. You got to replace that old blueprint, the old you, the old thoughts, the old feelings, and the old actions with a whole nother blueprint if you want to change your reality. And I do recommend it. That book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, is brilliant, because not only could you apply it for your body, but you could apply it for reality creation. So the work is profound. It's quantum creation that we're talking about here. So when you have that vision vortex now, what you're going to do is you're going to live in your 4-dimensional reality more than you're living in this reality. But in order to do that, guess what? You have to have the blueprint. Almost, I would say a lot of people out there have no idea what they want in life. You have to have a clear, aligned vision in order to even put that into your 4-dimensional world, the world of your imagination. But once you do, and you live in that 4-dimensional world, what's going to happen is the ideas are going to start coming to you that are way different than the ideas you had. The behavior is going to change. The people you hang around with even might change, not always, but you're going to start to see things shift. You're going to start to see people, places, and circumstances come to your aid to make that vision come true. But in order to do that, you have to do, guess what? You have to implant that vision in your subconscious mind. So how do we do that? How do we get so emotionally involved with the vision? We implant it. This is how you create the vortex, okay? So it's done by a process called auto-suggestion. And auto-suggestion is simply you're auto-hypnotizing yourself. It's not actually crazy or woo-woo. Go to the book Think and Grow Rich, and there's a whole chapter on auto-suggestion. But basically, how you implant this vision vortex into your mind is by, like I said, living in your imagination, but it's more than that. It's a clear picture with an elevated emotion. Feeling is the secret. Now, I'm going to refer now to a powerful teacher, Neville Goddard. If you have never studied the work of Neville Goddard, I highly recommend that you start doing that if you really want to create your vision vortex. So he has this book that I've listened to a gazillion times. It's called Step Into the Picture. So that's what you're going to do on a daily basis, is step into the picture. You're going to visualize, you're going to create affirmations, you're going to extract goals from your vision vortex. You're going to create a plan. If you're creating this vision vortex for your business, once the vision is clear, then what I do with clients is, okay, now we're going to systematically create a plan. It's the mental, spiritual, you got to imagine it, goes through the mind, right? You got to program the mind for that new result. And then the action is the birthing of the vision. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So it's way more than just saying some affirmations and visualization. It's really operating from a place of your wishes fulfilled every single day, and every action and every thought and your beingness. It's an embodiment, really. And there's ways to embody your vision, but a really great start is by obviously pen to paper. You're going to write this down, and you're not going to just write it down once. You're going to write it down often, because it's the revisiting, the scripting all the time that's going to implant that. Then you're going to affirm, you're going to change the way that you operate throughout the day. Your habits have to change dramatically to match this vision. You can't create a powerful vision being the old you. Even we work pretty profoundly on the self-image with this part. I have done videos about the self-image, but just to give you some resources, go to Psycho-Cybernetics. That's a book that you can get for free on YouTube. I've mentioned it a gazillion times. But it's really coming from a place of your wish fulfilled all the time. And the daily action is in alignment with the new vision. An interesting thing happened to me recently where I have a pretty huge vision for my life and my business, and I got some opportunities that were really exciting. I was like, wow, I didn't expect these opportunities. And they were really tempting, but I have to tell you that I turned them down. And sometimes to create that vision, this is why clarity is so important. Those opportunities were not in alignment with my vision. And I very kind of, oh, that would have been so fun kind of thing, but I did turn it down. So this is why it's so important. You're not going to be at the mercy of these outside forces. So daily inspired action is huge. I help my clients to really understand how to plan their day, how to strategize for their day, but from a place of inspiration, not pushing and all of that. And then you got to have systems for manifestation, okay? Without systems, you could still go towards your vision, but it might take you years in some cases. It could take 6 months, 3 months, or it could take years. That also depends on you. I had one coach, she said, change can happen in a second, or it might take a really long time. And that is also dependent on the internal resistance that comes up as you're creating this vision. So just to review, auto-suggestion is key. You have to have systems. And also here's the next thing is you want to address the blocks, the fear and the doubt that's going to come up as you're creating this bigger vision. Okay. I love this question. This was created by Bob Proctor. Are you worthy enough to reach your goals? He said, the question is not, are you worthy enough to reach your goals? The question is, are your goals worthy enough of you, right? And when we are operating from a low self-image, we may not think that our goals are worthy of us. And this is why this is one of the hugest blocks, I think, to having a vision manifest in physical reality is addressing to see yourself. It's called the law of assumption. How you see yourself in your mind's eye, what you're assuming about yourself is going to determine whether that vision vortex comes into physical reality or not. But a compelling vision can even change your self-image, because I've had that happen. So in some of the most challenging times of my life, if I did not have a vision vortex, if I didn't have that compelling vision, I can tell you, you wouldn't see me here today. I literally would not have survived. It saved my life. Um, I don't want to get into all the stuff that I've had happen because I don't want to focus on that. But I literally, there were days when I thought I couldn't go on and I would pull out my vision. I had it clear in my mind, and that vision vortex saved me. So here's the thing. You don't want to be the supporting actor in this magnificent play of your life. You want to be the main actress. And this is your job. If you want to be the main actress, you get to create your reality. Okay. What you can visualize, you can have. My coach, Bob Proctor, says if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. But guess what? You have to see it in your mind first. And most of the population can't even go there. So when you're 90 years old, how do you want to look back to your life? How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel fulfilled that I went for it? I thought big. I just got inspired. I went after my soul's purpose. Look at what I've created and I'm so satisfied. Or do you want to look back and think, wow, I should have invested in myself. I should have believed in myself, right? So this is why systems are so powerful, because when you make a decision that you're going to have that, you have to have a system to back it up. Now, whether you hire a coach or you get a mentor, find a system that's going to make this easy for you. Now, the system that I absolutely love is called Thinking into Results. It was created by Bob Proctor, and it's the result of 50 plus years in the field of development, of manifestation, of understanding universal law. And this program has been coached all over the planet. It's helped people even create an Oscar. My clients get phenomenal results from doing this program. They literally created wellness centers. They've been featured in magazines as experts. And these were people that did not have a big vision, that did not know where they were going. And their success just exploded. And this work not only will show you how to create that vision vortex, to get clear about your purpose, vision, and goals, but then it's a system, step by step. It's A plus B equals C system to ensure that your vision will come into physical reality. And that's why I love it so much. We need order in our minds when we're creating our vision. We need that support. We need somebody to believe in us more than we believe in ourselves. And that's why having a coach is such a powerful force for change. So I love this, what Joe Dispenza says. You can live in the world of cause and effect. You could be at the effect of stuff out there. The world is going in crazy places. Now you can enter you can be a quantum creator and enter into a parallel reality, because I've seen this, where no matter how bad the poop is hitting the fan out there, you can create a life you love still. And how do I know this? Because I'm around people like that all the time, every single day. I myself have created a life that I love, a business that I love, and you can as well. So Joe Dispenza says, instead of being cause and effect, be the cause of your effect. Because when you learn the law, when you learn that consciousness is creating everything, then you can get a hold of your consciousness and you can be like a laser focused on your goals and your dreams and your desires for your business and for your personal life as well. So I hope that I inspired you a great deal. Here's the thing too is, remember that your life right now, whatever you're seeing in front of you, is a big old mirror. It's reflecting what you're believing about life. It's reflecting about what you're believing about yourself and your capabilities. It should be called the law of reflection. They call it all law of attraction. I call it the law of reflection. So look at your reality and say, what is it that's being reflected back? And then you're going to know what you want to create with your vision vortex. Okay. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this. I so appreciate your feedback, comments. Please like and share this video. And DM me if you're interested in taking your vision vortex into reality. We can chat about your purpose, vision, and goals. Now's the time, people. Stop messing around with your life. I don't care who you work with, but stop messing around if you're not happy in any given area, and take some action today towards your dreams. Okay. All right. I'm going to go have fun now. Bye, everybody.